Welcome. I'm so glad to see you here today. I welcome you into my sacred space, my heart, my home, patio, and garden. I hope you've been having a good day today. So last week was an unusual week and a wonderful week for me. One of my children, my older son from New York, visited. He brought with him one of his good friends from Iowa. And we just had a wonderful time. We did some different hikes, and my younger son smoked some wonderful ribs in the smoker. We just had great time catching up and enjoying each other and had a bonfire outdoors. One day we drove up to Sedona because my older son didn't remember ever being there, and his friend had never been there. I've been there many, many times. It's a place of wonderful energy and beauty, about 2 hours north of where I live in Arizona. And we did a little hiking and such, and just beautiful red rock and nice people, and they had a wonderful time, and so did I. Of course, they could hike much higher than I could, but that was okay. I enjoyed my time in the sun and waited for them to come back down. So that was a wonderful week. I took off time from seeing clients and giving readings or massages, and also just enjoyed each moment with my family. So yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I wanted to touch for a moment about what love means in our world, because Valentine's Day is so focused on giving love. I received a beautiful heart from my granddaughter. She painted it, and I'm sure it was her mommy or daddy cut it out. And she even wrote in her own little writing, Grandma, on the back of it, and then her name. It's sweet. I love those things. And a beautiful card from my daughter. And so it's a time where we shower our love on the people around us, whether it's your partner, your spouse, a good friend, any family members. And yet there are many people where a day like Valentine's Day can be disheartening because they really want that love of another person and may not have it, or may not have someone to share it with. So how do we navigate times like that when the world, or at least the United States, is so focused on love and outward love? And the place to start is with our inner love. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's where we start, is self-love and self-compassion. So a number of years ago, I had a period of time where I really dove in and explored what self-love really is, at least for me. When I separated from my ex-husband and went through the divorce, I spent a number of years single. I chose that. I wanted to be single. I did not want to put energy into a romantic relationship. I really wanted to explore who Carol Ann is and what Carol Ann enjoys, and learning new things. And I really enjoyed building my business in that community where I lived in Iowa, and growing my client base and continuing to learn more about my abilities as a psychic medium and as a shamanic practitioner, and also different forms of body work, craniosacral and lomi and so on. I spent a lot of that time exploring those parts of me and learning to navigate. I learned to navigate the world as a single woman, which was new. I had been married for 28 years and had spent a large part of that time after we had our first child together. I had been working until then, but I spent much of that time as a stay-at-home mom, managing 4 children and all their activities, and managing the household budget and volunteering and all the things that go into that, bake sales and fundraisers for their activities, which was great fun. and demanding, but it's what I chose and what my ex-husband and I mutually chose to do. So I had many years of working per se as an stay-at-home mom, but no income coming in. I relied on the ex-husband for that. So going through divorce was absolutely new, and navigating how I was going to support myself, what my income would look like post-divorce. That's quite the unknown. As many of you who've gone through a separation and divorce know, you're really looking at the unknown, and that can be frightening at times. And the unknown of simply being single and not having a partner, and what are the kids going to think and feel and experience through the fallout of divorce, and how are your friendships going to change? Those were all unknowns, and something I had to experience and live through and move through. So during that time, I really dove deep and did my shamanic work and Reiki and healing work around healing my heart and exploring that idea of self-love and self-compassion. And I called upon some of my guides and angels to help me with that. Kuan Yin is one I called on, and the Mother Mary, and some of my angels, Raphael, and so on, to help me with that. And really explored Carol, enjoying Carol. And, my time where I wasn't seeing clients, enjoying activities by myself, not having to have a friend or a partner to do them with, or children at home to do them with, to really explore what I enjoyed doing and what brought me satisfaction and joy and the feeling of completion of a project, and so on. And so that was a time of wonderful exploration. And once I did choose to have a partner, my hope was, and still is, that I connect with somebody who meets me at that level, that place of having a strong awareness of self-love and self-compassion, because that is what then attracts that kind of outer love we desire to have when we first feel it for ourselves. The outer world reflects our inner world. So the more you can find that depth of love and compassion for yourself, the more likely it is you will have that level of love and compassion with a partner, or with your children, or with your friends, and so on. So that is always my hope. But yet I'm human. We're all human. And we often catch ourselves laying expectations on each other, on our friends, on our children, our partners, and so on. So I do check myself now and then and go, is this my expectation? Is this my desire of them to be a certain way that I want them to be? Or am I holding the space for this person, a partner, or one of my children, to be who they need to be, to open and unfold their journey in the way their soul calls them to be? So that is my goal, and my desire is to work from that level of self-love and compassion, and to hold the space for others to be in their self-love and self-compassion. And we make mistakes, we slip up, and we do our best to catch ourselves, laugh a little, and move on. So I invite you to contemplate about self-love and self-compassion. And we'll discuss it more in another video, but I wanted to just touch on that subject today. And I wish you all love and self-compassion and aloha. And I will see you again in the next video. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Thank you.